I started a brand new YouTube channel with 0 subscribers, and I was able to pull in hundreds of thousands of views on my first couple videos. But after I started posting for a little while, some of my videos would get 5,000 views, while some of my videos would get over 1 million views. I was confused as to why this was happening until one day it finally clicked. YouTube actually told me why this was happening inside of my YouTube studio. I had a video that was underperforming, and they said that I had a lower click-through rate because my audience was just not interested in this topic. And it really got me thinking about the importance of video ideas and the topics that you talk about on your YouTube channel. For most small YouTubers, you might be like this. When you're thinking of video ideas, you just start writing down some of the video ideas that come to your head. There's usually not a whole lot of research that goes into these ideas, and oftentimes you're left at the very last second to come up with a thumbnail to post because you just forgot to take one. But if you want to be successful on YouTube, you need to completely change your mindset when it comes to video ideas. Because most people spend like 95% of their time on the actual video itself, and they maybe spend 5% of the time on the packaging of the video. Now, packaging is just a fancy word for your idea or the topic, and then your title and your thumbnail. The difference between my videos that got 1 million views and the videos that got like 5,000 views was not necessarily the editing or the video itself. The difference was actually in the packaging. So I want to share with you my exact process for finding good video ideas for YouTube that are actually going to get views for your channel. Now, quick disclaimer is that this process is more tailored for browse and suggested traffic, not necessarily for ranking videos in search on YouTube. However, if you guys want to see an updated version on how to rank videos on YouTube and find keywords and find the video ideas for search traffic, let me know down in the comments below. Now, when it comes to finding video ideas, there's really 3 things that I am constantly doing. The first one is collecting ideas and just pulling in a ton of ideas from a ton of different places. And you are going to need some place to store these ideas, whether that's a Google Doc, a notepad, maybe even a paper journal, but you need something to actually write down these ideas. Now, the second thing I'm doing is validating these ideas. And that's when I actually make sure that there is some legitimate interest in this topic. And if there is, then I can be much more sure that there is a higher chance of this actually getting a ton of views. And then the third thing that I'm constantly doing is I'm packaging these ideas, and that is the title and the thumbnail, because a great idea could be a great idea, but if it doesn't have the right title and thumbnail, then it just might not get views on YouTube. So you need all of it. When it comes to collecting ideas, and I kind of get into a brainstorm session for ideas for my channel, I like to stay as open as possible and not limit myself as to what videos I can or cannot make. This helps me think outside of the box a little bit more and come up with video ideas that could get millions of views. Whether I could actually produce that type of a video, I don't know yet, but I want to start thinking big with big ideas that could get a lot of views. Now, if you're someone who typically just comes up with like 4 video ideas and then you go on and you shoot all 4 of those, I want to stop you right there and challenge you on this. If you were to think of say 20, 30, even 50 different video ideas and then refine those down into the best ones possible through the validation process that I'm going to cover a little bit later, you would get way more views because your ideas are going to be that much better by starting with a large pool and then getting the best ones, and in return getting more views. Few tricks for actually coming up with video ideas that could get a lot of views is simply by just looking at your YouTube homepage. When you open up YouTube, they are going to recommend you videos that they think you might be interested in. And this is the hope that YouTube would do with your videos as well. I've actually created a playlist on YouTube called Video Ideas. And anytime I see something pop up on YouTube on the homepage or maybe suggested, I will save that video to my Video Ideas folder. And this is a good way for me to just start collecting a bunch of random video ideas from other people that could spark inspiration for me. Now, the videos you want to add to that folder are the ones that really catch your eye. Maybe it's the thumbnail, the title, the topic, but it's the one that you really want to click on. You're probably going to go and watch this video, and then later you can start to dissect why you clicked on that video. Another great way to come up with video ideas is just other social media platforms. Oftentimes for me, this could look like Twitter, LinkedIn, or even blog articles can give me great ideas for YouTube videos. When you're grabbing these video ideas, you're not just going to copy what other people are doing, but you're rather going to use it for inspiration. And one of my favorite newsletters that does this is called Creator Hooks, and they're not sponsoring this video. I'm just a huge fan of Creator Hooks, but each week they'll send you 5 video ideas with a great title and a template that you can actually just plug your own keywords into these titles. And these are going to be great video ideas for you and something that I like to look at every single week. One of my favorite tools from vidIQ is the daily video ideas feature. And this gives me great video ideas that I can sort through every single day and find stuff that I want to save for later and maybe make that video, or I can discard it. And over time, this is going to get better and better at recommending you good video ideas. And ultimately, this saves me so much time just getting started, getting things going, thinking of ideas. And if you want to get started with vidIQ's paid plan for just $1 for the first 30 days, make sure to use the link down in the description. Now, in all these video ideas, at the same time, you need to be doing your research and actually validating that these ideas could get a lot of views. The validation process is something that I did not do for a long time, and it's something I have to constantly remind myself. For example, I posted a video and it was basically about fake injuries in the NBA, and I thought this was super interesting, but it turns out my audience did not think this was interesting. And honestly, all I probably had to do was just go onto YouTube and search for fake injuries, and I could look at some of the videos and see, you know what, some of these videos get 50,000 views, 75,000 views, but some of these other topics that I'm interested in talking about get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views. And that is a way better signal and more of a validation that those topics are more interesting to my audience than the one that I wanted to make originally. Now, after that video came out, my buddy sent me a Twitter thread, and it was this viral Twitter thread where everyone was kind of weighing in on all the funniest moments from the NBA season. And I'm talking each tweet getting millions of impressions on this thread. This was the perfect example of a video idea that was validated. I knew for sure that the NBA basketball audience was interested in this because they were already interested in this on Twitter. So this told me that people were also going to be interested in this on YouTube. But even still, I always like to do a little bit of research on YouTube to make sure that that topic is getting views on the platform. One of the cool features about vidIQ is when I go into search and I'm starting to research some topics, I can actually see how many subscribers these channels have, and I can see how many views that video has. Now, when you find a topic where there's a lot of channels that are getting way more views than they have subscribers, this is a great sign, and you need to highlight that one in green and probably make that video. Another great tool that vidIQ has to make this even easier is when you go into the search bar and you have vidIQ installed, you can see the search volume and you can also see the competition. Ideally, you want to find something that has high search volume and low competition, and that's going to give you even a greater chance for success with that video. Now, the third thing here is packaging ideas, because at the end of the day, if you can't come up with a good thumbnail and a good title to back up this video idea, then it's not going to perform as well as if you had a great thumbnail and title. Ryan Trahan, who is a great YouTube creator with millions of subscribers, has talked about how he doesn't actually shoot a YouTube video until his thumbnail and title are made. Now, this sounds crazy because so many of us do this completely last, but this is one of those things that I think is totally worth doing. And if the biggest creators on the platform are doing it, there might be something we can learn from that. So you understand, it's super important, but the question is, what makes a great title and what makes a great thumbnail? Let's start with thumbnails. First of all, it needs to be simple. A lot of people on YouTube are scrolling by very quickly looking at thumbnails, and frankly, when you're on your phone, they're pretty small, and so you want to make sure that is easy to see and overall just has a few elements in the frame. Number 2, it needs to stand out. On YouTube, there is so much competition. There are a ton of thumbnails that people see when they open up the app. So how is yours different? How does it catch their eye and actually draw them to that picture? This could be with adding some text, maybe 2 or 3 words. Please don't add in more than like 4 words. It just starts to get chaotic. And maybe this is actually putting a face in your image because this typically draws the eye, but a lot of people put their faces way too small in the thumbnail that it's hard to see. So you want to make sure that it's actually big enough to showcase the emotion on your face. Now, I actually just love the way that Mr. Beast explained this when someone asked him about thumbnails. It just needs to be so interesting that when someone looks at your thumbnail, when they go to bed that night, if they didn't click on your video, they're going to be thinking about that image and they're going to be thinking about what happened in that video. When it comes down to your title, it's pretty similar. You want it to be very simple, you want it to convey emotion, and you also want to make sure that it's not too long, or else YouTube starts to chop off some of that title because it's just way too long. But ultimately, this might be the most important thing that you can do with your packaging. My buddy Jake Thomas, who is the owner of Creator Hooks, has studied a ton of different YouTube thumbnails, YouTube titles, and YouTube videos. And the number one character trait that he found in those videos was curiosity. So ask yourself how you can actually add in some curiosity to your title, to your thumbnail, or to your topic. And I break down exactly how to do this, as well as all of the other emotions and what we call click triggers that you can add to your videos to help you get more views. If you click on the screen, you can watch that video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.